Hello, my friend. Welcome back to English 1314. I am very happy you are here because today we talk about how you can really learn to speak English with more confidence, and I want to share with you in a short time what took me many years to learn about languages so you can move faster and feel stronger when you speak. I know you are busy. You work, you study, you have family and many things to do. So I want every minute in this video or lesson to be useful for you, and I will try to speak in clear English, not too fast, so that even if you are a beginner or low intermediate learner, you can follow almost everything, and you can feel proud of yourself at the end. Today, I will share several important ideas that really help, and also I will tell you the opposite things that waste your time, because many students on the internet listen to strange advice and then they feel confused or disappointed when they do not improve. So let us fix that together. Before we start, let me say something simple but powerful. Your English is not your value as a person. You are already important. English is just a tool that can open extra doors for you, for travel, for work, for friends, for fun, and for learning new things about this big and crazy world we all live in. When you remember this, you feel less stress, and with less stress, you can learn faster. So, are you ready to discover some better ways to learn? Great. Let us begin with the first big idea. The first idea is about focus. To really improve your English, you need to focus on it. You need to give it a clear space in your life, like a time and a place in your daily plan, and you need to protect that time like a small treasure. Many learners say, I want to speak English well, but they do not change their schedule. They only study when they are not tired, when they are not busy, when they feel lucky, or when they feel guilty. And that means they almost never study in a strong way. Focus means you make English important, not just in your head, but in your calendar. Imagine a horse in a race. Sometimes the horse has special things near the eyes, so it does not look left or right, it only looks forward. When you study, try to be like that horse for a short time, maybe 20 or 30 minutes. No phone, no messages, no social media, no snacks, just you and your English. In that time, you are not a student who is half asleep. You are an active learner. You listen, you repeat, you write, you think, and your brain understands that English is serious for you. A long time ago, I tried to learn another language when I lived in a different country, and at the beginning I was excited. I learned the alphabet. I learned some phrases for the supermarket and the train station, and every day I practiced a little bit. But after some weeks, I stopped because I always had something more urgent. Work, friends, television, going out in the evening. I told myself, I do not have time. I am too busy. Maybe next week. Maybe next month. Later, I understood that this sentence, I do not have time, was not really true. It was just a polite way to say, this is not important for me right now. In fact, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. The real question is not time, it is choice. When you say, I do not have time for English, your brain hears, English is not my priority. And then your actions follow this story. Try to change the sentence. Instead of saying, I do not have time to study, say, today I choose to watch a drama instead of studying, or today I choose to scroll on my phone instead of practicing speaking. It sounds funny, but it is honest. And when you see the truth, sometimes you will make a different choice. You will say, "Today, I choose to give English 30 minutes. And after that, I can relax." In this way, you slowly build a new identity. You become a person who chooses English again and again. That is focus. The second idea is about consistency. Many people ask, how long will it take to become fluent? Can I speak like a native in 3 months? Can I finish English in 1 year? These questions sound normal, but they can be dangerous because they make you think about magic and shortcuts and super fast ways. And when you do not get that result, you feel like a failure. Language learning is not a short race where you run very fast for 10 seconds and then stop. It is more like a long walk or a long journey. You walk, you rest, you walk again, and step by step, you arrive at a better level. If you study hard for 3 weeks and then stop for 3 months, it is like eating a lot of food one day and then nothing the next days. Your body does not like that, and your brain also does not like that for language. A small habit every day is much better than a crazy big effort one time. For example, 10 or 15 minutes of listening every day is better than 2 hours of listening only on Sunday. Your brain learns with repetition and with time. Many serious schools say that moving from one level to the next, for example from beginner to lower intermediate, usually needs many hours of guided learning and practice, not only classes, but also homework, reading and speaking. So if a course calls itself a 3-month miracle course that gives you perfect fluency without hard work, you can smile and know that this is more marketing than truth. A better question is, how can I keep going with English in my real life for 6 months, for 1 year, for 2 years, without feeling bored or tired all the time? The answer is to connect English with things you enjoy. If you love cooking, watch simple cooking videos in English, read easy recipes, write your own recipe in English and share it with a friend. If you love games, play games in English, talk about your favorite game in English, or write a short review. The more you mix English with your real interests, the more you want to come back every day, and consistency becomes easier. The third idea is motivation, your reason, your why. Many students say, I want to be fluent, but this is a very big and very cloudy goal. It is hard to see. It is hard to touch. What does fluent really mean? And when will you know that you are fluent? Because the idea is not clear, your brain cannot see the finish line, and you feel lost in the middle. Instead, try to choose smaller and clearer goals that you can count. For example, you can say, I want to be able to talk about my family, my job, my hobbies, and my future plans for 3 minutes each, without long pauses, in the next 4 months. This is easier to see. You can even record yourself now and later and compare. Or you can say, I want to understand the main idea of short news videos in simple English after 6 months. Or, I want to pass an exam at level A2 or B1 next year so that I can apply for a program. These goals are specific and realistic. When you reach one goal, you feel successful, your motivation grows, and then you can set a new, slightly bigger goal. Motivation is like a small fire inside you. If you put wood and air, it grows. But if you forget it for a long time, it becomes very small or stops. How can you feed this fire? One way is to remember every day why you started learning English. Maybe you want to travel and speak with local people, not only use translation on your phone. Maybe you want to study abroad or get a better job. Maybe you want to understand your favorite songs or movies without subtitles. Maybe you want to help your children with their homework, or you want to feel more confident in international meetings. Take some time to write your reasons on a paper, in your own language or in English, and put that paper somewhere you can see every day, near your desk or on your wall. When you feel tired or bored, look at that paper and read your reasons again. Say to yourself, "This is why I am doing this. This is the future I want." Another way to keep motivation is to track your progress. The problem with language is that progress is slow and sometimes invisible, so your feelings are not always a good guide. You may feel that your English is terrible today, but in reality you are much better than 6 months ago. So once a month you can do a small test for yourself. Record a short talk on your phone about a topic like travel, work, family, technology, or health. Keep those recordings. After some months, listen again to the first recording and compare with the new one. You will probably hear that your pronunciation, your grammar, and your vocabulary are all a little better. This is real proof, and it gives your brain a strong message. I am growing, and my effort is working. The fourth idea is about big goals and small steps. It is good to have a big dream. Like, I want to feel free when I travel, or I want to work in another country, or I want to study completely in English. But if you only look at the big dream, you may feel scared because it looks too far and too high, like a mountain with snow on the top. So instead of looking only at the top, look at the next step in front of you. Ask, what can I do this week that moves me one tiny step toward that dream? Maybe this week you can learn 10 new words connected with your job and use them in sentences. Maybe you can read one short article each day and write 3 new sentences from it. Maybe you can join one speaking club online and speak for 15 minutes. Every little step is like a brick in a wall. When you put many bricks together, you get a strong wall. But each brick is small and easy to carry. A nice trick is to divide your big dream into time pieces. For example, you can plan for 1 year and cut it into 4 parts of 3 months. For the first 3 months, you focus more on listening and basic speaking. For the next 3 months, you add reading, for the next part writing, for the last part exam practice or professional English. You do not need a perfect plan. You just need a simple plan that you can really follow. When your focus is on the next small step, your mind stays in the present. You feel less stress and you move. The fifth idea is practice, practice, practice. Many students are experts in grammar rules but very shy when they need to speak or write. It is like a person who reads many books about swimming but never goes into the water. Of course they are afraid when they finally see the real water. To be confident in English, you must touch the water often. That means you must use the language Not only think about it, when you learn a new word or phrase, say it aloud several times. Make a few different sentences with it. Connect it with your life. For example, if you learn the phrase, look forward to, you can say, I look forward to my holiday. I look forward to seeing my grandparents. I look forward to finishing this project. This is active practice. You can also shadow, which means you listen to a short audio and speak at the same time or a little after the speaker. Choose a video with a person you like, maybe a teacher or a speaker with clear English. Listen to one sentence, pause, try to copy the sound and the rhythm, then continue. This helps your mouth and your ears work together. Do not worry if you make mistakes. It is normal and necessary. Children make thousands of mistakes when they learn their first language, but nobody gives them a grammar test. People just correct them gently or answer them, and slowly they improve. You can give yourself the same kindness. Also, try to find chances to speak with real people. It can be a language partner online, a friend who also wants to practice, a teacher, or even yourself in the mirror. Talking to yourself may look strange, but it is very useful. You can describe what you are doing, what you see, what you think in simple English. For example, I am cooking dinner. I cut the vegetables. The water is boiling. Later I will call my friend. This builds fluency without pressure. The sixth idea is review. Your brain is amazing, but it forgets things quickly when you do not see them again. Maybe you learn 20 new words one day and you feel happy, but after 1 week you remember only 2 of them. This is normal. It is not because you are stupid. It is because your memory is working in a natural way. To fight this forgetting, you need to review. Review means you look again at old words and phrases and grammar after some time, and you use them again. You can make a simple system for this. For example, when you learn new words today, write them on one page or in an app with a sentence. Tomorrow, review them for 5 minutes. 3 days later, review them again. 1 week later, again. You do not need to spend a lot of time, just a few minutes each time. Each review sends a signal to your brain. This information is important. Please keep it. Many language apps try to use this idea of repeated review, but you can also do it alone with cards or a notebook. Also, review does not have to be boring. You can review through fun input. If last week you studied vocabulary about weather, today you can listen to a short weather report or watch a video where people talk about the climate, or read a small story where the weather changes. Your brain will see the same words again in a new place, and that is very strong learning. The 7th idea is connection. Learning alone in your room can be peaceful, but sometimes it is lonely. And when you feel lonely, your motivation goes down. Humans are social animals. We like to share our journey. So if you can, find other learners or teachers to connect with. You can join an online class, a conversation group, a forum, or a social media community that is kind and positive. When you study with others, you can see that they also make mistakes. They also feel shy sometimes, and you realize that you are not the only one. You can encourage each other. You can share good resources. You can celebrate small wins together, like, today I spoke to a tourist, or today I watched a movie without subtitles. These small conversations give you energy, If you are shy to speak in front of many people, you can start with one partner. There are many websites and apps where people meet to exchange languages. You can speak in English for some time and then in your native language. When you choose a partner, remember that you have the right to feel safe and respected. If somebody makes you uncomfortable, you can leave the conversation. A good partner is patient, listens to you, and lets you also listen to them. You do not need a perfect partner, you just need a friendly one. Another form of connection is with yourself. Try to speak to yourself in a kind, inner voice. When you make a mistake, do not say, "I am stupid, my English is terrible." Say, "I made a mistake, but that is how I learn. Next time, I will try again." This gentle attitude is very important for long-term learning. The last idea for today is celebration and reward. Many adults think that studying must be serious and heavy and painful, but your brain actually learns better when you feel some joy. So when you reach a small goal, please celebrate it. If you finished a 30-day listening challenge, give yourself a small present, maybe a snack you like, a walk in a park, a new book, or some rest with a movie you enjoy. If you finally had a full conversation in English with someone, even if it was not perfect, tell a friend or write it in a journal and say, "I did it." These small celebrations tell your brain that learning English is connected with positive feelings, not only with stress and exams, and that helps you continue. Also, try to forgive yourself for days when you cannot study. Life is not perfect. Some days you will be sick or busy or sad, and maybe you will not touch English. This does not mean you failed. The next day, you can start again with one small step. The important thing is not to stop for a long time. In summary, to become more confident in English, you do not need secret talent. You do not need to be a genius. You need focus, consistency, motivation, clear goals, small steps, active practice, review, connection, and some celebration. All of these are skills you can build like muscles in the gym. At the beginning, the weight feels heavy, but if you go again and again, slowly you can lift more. You may sometimes feel that other people are moving faster than you, but remember that every person has a different life, different responsibilities, different starting point. The only fair comparison is with your past self. Are you a little bit better than yesterday, than last month, than last year? If yes, then you are doing well. Keep going. Keep learning. Keep speaking even with mistakes, because every sentence you say is one more step on your path. Thank you very much for spending your time with me today. I really hope these ideas give you some new energy and some practical tools you can use this week. Before we say goodbye, let us make this very practical. I want to give you a simple plan that you can try for the next 7 days. You do not have to follow it perfectly, but it can give you an example of how to mix all these ideas in your real life. On day 1, choose your reason and your goal. Sit down with a cup of tea or coffee, take a paper or open a note app, and write your personal answer to 2 questions. Why do I want English? And what do I want to be able to do in the next 3 months? Maybe you write, I want to feel relaxed in small conversations with visitors in my city. Or, I want to write clear emails to people in other countries. Or, I want to pass a simple test. Make your sentences short and specific. and put the paper somewhere you see it. On day 2, build your environment. Change the language on one device to English, maybe your phone or your tablet. Put one small English book or your notebook in a place you pass every day, like next to your bed or on your desk. Unfollow some accounts that make you feel bad, and follow 1 or 2 English learning channels that are friendly and clear. Make it easy to meet English without thinking so much. On day 3, choose your focus materials. Find one short video series you like, maybe 5 to 10 minutes each episode, at a level that is not too hard. Also, choose one very simple book, story, or website with short texts. You do not need 20 books and 100 videos. If you have too many, you will spend all your power on choosing, not on learning. Keep it simple for now. On day 4, start your speaking habit. After you watch your short video, pause and repeat some sentences, copy the rhythm, and then say your own sentences. For example, if the video sentence is, I usually get up at 7, you can make your own, I usually get up at 6:30, or on Sundays I get up at 9. If you can, record yourself for 2 or 3 minutes and listen again. At first you may hate your voice, but with time you will get used to it and you will hear your progress. On day 5, add some writing. Do not worry about long essays or perfect grammar. Just write 5 to 10 sentences about your day, your feelings, your plans. You can write, today I was tired at work, but my colleague helped me, or I cooked a new dish and my family liked it. If you have someone who can read it and give you a small correction, nice. If not, it is still useful for your brain. On day 6, review and recycle. Look at your notebook from the last days. Choose 10 words or phrases that you want to keep forever. Read them aloud, then close the notebook and try to remember them. Make a game. Can you put each word in a new sentence about your real life? If you forget, do not be sad. Just look again and try one more time. Little by little, these words will become part of your natural language. On day 7, reflect and celebrate. Take 10 minutes and ask yourself, what did I actually do this week? What was easy? What was hard? What did I enjoy? What small change did I feel? Maybe you noticed that it was easier to understand one video, or that you can now say a sentence more quickly. Those are real wins. For your celebration, you can give yourself permission to rest, or you can enjoy something fun in English, like a song, a comic, or a movie scene. The important thing is to feel some quiet pride in your heart and to say, I am on the way. After these 7 days, you can repeat the same kind of week again and again with small changes. Change the topic, the video, the book, but keep the structure, a clear reason, a simple plan, regular practice, review, and a small celebration. This is how language learning becomes a natural part of your life. Not a heavy project that you start and stop many times. Let me also talk for a moment about some common mistakes that many learners make so you can avoid them. One big mistake is jumping from one method to another every few days. On Monday, you try an app. On Wednesday, you buy a new grammar book. On Friday, you follow a different teacher. And on Sunday, you decide to only watch series without subtitles. Every method can help a little, but when you change too fast, you never stay long enough to see real results. Try to stay with one main method for at least a few weeks, even when you feel a bit bored. Boredom is not always a signal to stop. Sometimes it is a sign that your brain is working and needs a short rest, not a new method. Another mistake is waiting for the perfect time. You tell yourself, I will start when I finish this project, or when the new year comes, or when my level is better. In reality, there is no perfect time. There is only now, even if now is messy and noisy. If you can learn to practice English in an imperfect life, with children making sounds, with a small room, with a busy job, then you are very strong, and almost nothing can stop you. A third mistake is being too hard on yourself. Some learners punish themselves for every small error. They repeat the same sentence 10 times until it is perfect. They compare themselves with people on the internet who maybe already studied for many years, and they feel small and slow. Please remember that you are a human, not a machine. You have other responsibilities and emotions. It is normal that your progress is not a straight line. Some weeks you will grow fast, some weeks you will just keep the level, and some weeks you may feel you are going backwards. But usually, this feeling means that your brain is preparing for a jump. If you keep going, the jump will come. Finally, I want to say something about confidence. Many people think that confidence comes after you reach a high level, like when you know 10,000 words or when you pass a big exam. But in fact, confidence often grows before that. And it grows from action, not from knowledge. When you speak even with fear, when you try even when you are not sure, when you ask a question, when you join a group, you are training your confidence muscle. Every time you do something a little scary in English and you survive, your brain learns, it was not so bad. Maybe I can do it again. So do not wait to feel confident before you speak. Speak first and let the confidence come later as a result. Little by little, you will notice that situations that made you very nervous before are now only a little uncomfortable. And one day, they will be almost normal for you. If this lesson helped you, share it with a friend who also wants to grow. And do not forget to support this channel, English 1314, so we can continue to bring you more simple and useful English stories, tips, and practice in the future.